you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right. Oh, let me fix my audio.
Coming to you live from White House. Just had a meeting with President Trump.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh.
And your name's Paul Vessel. Should I change that?
What's that?
Your name's Paul Vessel. Should
Yeah,
I
no,
change
I
that?
saw that come in. Yeah, he's not here.
Excuse me.
Hi, Val. Hi, Mary.
Hello.
Hello, Sal.
Sal's connecting to audio. He's not on there yet.
Sal, I was in Washington trying to get more money from Mary, and Trump said I could use the press room.
You look good. You look good up there, Mr. President. I love it. Hi, Mary.
Hello, Sal.
How are you? How's everything?
Oh, hanging in there. I see you got your nice thermal mug there. You're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I won't say what's in the mug, but I'm ready to go.
Val and Brian did their first marriage license via
Unbelievable. A wave. This is a wave of the future.
yeah.
Probably the first one in the state, probably.
It went very smooth.
Are you going to divorce them on video too next
No, I
year?
don't do that.
Unbelievable.
All right, so let me just look at our
So
participants.
they unveiled the sign today.
What's that?
They unveiled the sign in front of Town Hall today.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, they had it set up. We just got to wait for the IT to get down and program it.
I just left there. There's a few signatures that you need to sign, and then all the vouchers are done.
Okay. Yeah, Mike had mentioned that to me.
Yeah, there's a little stack that says supervisor signatures. Everything else is done.
All right. Yeah, I'll be in tomorrow.
I love the backdrop. That's awesome. I got to take a picture of that. That's a Kodak moment right there. Wait.
McGinn was enamored with Brian's last week, and then Neil actually thought you were driving Brian from somewhere.
Well, I thought I was driving what when I was.
Yeah, he said it looked like you're driving in your car, and the background was Town Hall.
Oh well, I could do video too, but I'm trying to keep it simple. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I have a roller coaster one where I can do a roller coaster in the background, but gives people motion sickness.
With the screaming people, right?
Yeah, all the effects. Oh wait, I gotta change the background for you.
Councilman McGinn, I like your background. Wow. Look
Tony,
at
we're thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and there you go, Michael.
Great
Oh,
minds think
wow.
alike.
Yeah, very
Great minds think
impressive,
alike.
Mike.
How are
You
you?
guys are competing.
They are.
Well, listen,
get the
no one
flag waving.
wanted to see my blank bedroom wall.
That's for the pledge, supervisor. I figure when you're ready, I'll have a nice background.
Yeah.
Well, Mike has a flag.
Spotlight it so it's the big video, everybody can see it.
Yep.
And you
Mike
just
and Tony both have flags behind them.
That's true. That's
They're
true.
prepared.
Put like a Hawaiian background behind mine.
But
Listen,
Sal,
I
Sal,
don't
on the
think-
bottom left corner of your screen,
Okay.
see where it says has a camera,
Yeah.
and there's an arrow that goes up next to it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Click
I'm
on
stepping
the
off for
arrow.
1 second.
And it says virtual background.
No, mine doesn't say that.
Background.
oh well, Sal, what are you using? What device?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Is it a
none.
computer or is it like an iPad or?
Oh, no, it's a computer.
Oh yeah, you should have it. Is it a
The arrow
Macintosh?
to the- it's the
Apple.
arrow to the right of stop video, and if you click on it, it brings you up like 5 different, Golden Gate Bridge, the moon scene.
Mine says none.
Yeah, mine says none.
Yeah, Tony, I don't think ours, whatever one the town's using is.
I think you have to have 4 years on the town board to get the virtual background.
What does Rick get?
Rick has video.
Where is Rick?
I don't know. I was just going to say that. Where is Rick?
I don't know.
Let's see, make sure he's not in the attendee list here. I'm gonna move over there and take a look.
That
I
happened to me
don't
last.
see him there. I see 2 phone numbers unless he called in. Rick, if you hear me and you called in, let us
How
know.
do I get back to the regular screen now?
The little red box on top with the X, just click that on top right.
Yeah, I don't see Rick in the attendee list. You want to try texting him or should
Yeah, I'm
I?
gonna do that now.
Okay.
Little red box.
Hello, Val. How are you?
I don't know. Did you hear hear Mr. McGinn, Val?
I
No.
don't, I know you guys are cutting in and out.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Hi.
Hey, Valerie.
Hi,
Val did an
Valerie.
excellent job this morning hosting the first virtual marriage license application for the town of Monroe.
Excellent.
Yep,
Excellent.
she got it done.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We got
Good-
signatures, Brian, too.
Excellent.
Good work.
All right, well, we do have a quorum at least, so that's good.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm gonna start. I'm waiting to see if,
He says he's muted.
Is he on the phone?
yeah.
I believe that's him. Hold on a
This is
second.
the one 667.
Yeah, that would be, he probably called into the public meeting, so let me move him over.
Hello.
Yep,
Oh, sounds like
there
Rick.
we go.
Yeah, because my computer is still out, so I can't. My laptop.
What's wrong with it?
It's a Macintosh
I
from the
called up
1980s.
I called up tech. They said that something with the battery. It's not taking the charge. We'll have to send it back. They
Oh,
were
okay.
supposed to send me a box last week. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the thing, and I just sent them another text. They're going to send out something else from Dell, so I can send it back.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just going to rename you Councilman Clone so everybody can see you.
Please, they've been calling me a lot of names lately, so don't worry about it.
All right, Supervisor, so whenever you are ready, I will.
Sure. All right, so if everyone can please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag.
This flag,
of the United
States
States
of
of
America,
America,
and to the
and
republic
the republic for
for
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
nation,
Under
under
God,
God,
under God,
indivisible,
visible,
with
liberty,
liberty and justice
justice
for
for all.
all.
Okay. All right, couple of announcements. If we could just remain silent for a moment to remember those, all those that passed this week from COVID and some, other reasons. Okay, thank you. We need a motion to open up the town board meeting.
I will
I'll make that motion.
Made by Councilwoman Bingham, seconded by Councilman McGinn. Okay. Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Begin I.
Okay, so moved. All right, just a couple of little updates with regard to where we're at. So on the county call today, there was 7,029 positive tests. We had 231 deaths throughout the county. This is the first day today we had a stat which came back. There was 787 Orange County residents that had recovered from it. And those numbers include people that might have been in Orange County, left for the winter or a portion of it, and recovered somewhere else. So that was a positive sign. The ICU bed total availability was 42%, and that's been creeping up lately. It was down as low as 15% about a week and a half ago. The hospitalization number dropped. Yesterday, Saturday it was 281. Today it was 271. So that was very good. The county exec, as well as Commissioner Casey and Dr. Irina, were very much looking forward to us starting to prepare to open events. The particular aspect that brought that to light was the summer camps for the kids. So they're looking for us to start to getting gear and go through the process to open up camps and what have you. Our budget. So after the first 3 months, we are, and this is, based on a breakdown of a share where we would be budget wise and where we actually are. So we're about $895,000 short in revenue, and we're about $351,000 short in spending. So when we're looking at, it's about $545,000, which we're coming up short. That also includes the fact we did not get the sales tax check, I don't believe, from the
County yet?
first quarter, yeah. And we did, and I want to make note of it because even though he's not with us anymore, Friday, we actually deposited the $250,000 that we got in a grant from Senator Larkin back in 2017. So, the finance department and Jen had worked very hard getting all the paperwork up there. There were multiple requests after the initial submittal. So that was done. It's in our bank account, and I'm happy to see that. Now it's a matter of we're waiting on the 400 from the roads, and then Senator Skoufis's 175 for the additional roads this year and the backhoe that we asked for. So that's where we are. Anybody have any questions about that?
Yeah, Tony. Just regarding the revenue, besides the sales tax, where's the other? Where do you see the other shortfall right now?
Right now, I would say that it's coming from court violations. There was a little bit of a drop, obviously, in clerk fees, and I don't have the paper in front of me, Mike, but I can email you guys a little later. As far as
That's all right.
but that was the most part, and there was
building department fees as well, I guess.
Building department fees, and there was Mary Ellen had told me, I don't know what the actual dollars were, but there was about 10% of those did not pay their taxes.
Oh, okay.
So that's got to be, a couple hundred.
When is that extension till May? Or
No, they have not decided. No, you don't have an extension to pay your taxes. That
Property taxes.
property taxes. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Your property taxes, the last day to pay them without any, future penalties and without you having to go to the county to pay was March 31st. So,
Okay.
So that was, that's where the bulk of it is. Plus, Mike, there's going to be a shortfall in mortgage tax, but you got to remember, this is only based on 3 months. And, the way it's done is we're way ahead in tax collection, because tax collection, instead of being spread out over 12 months, it all comes in 3 months.
Right.
So that's another aspect of that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Mike. So we need a motion to open up the continuation of the public hearing for the proposed amendment of Chapter 57.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
second it.
Okay. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Bardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Begin.
Who second that, please?
Who seconded?
Councilman McGinn.
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Any discussion?
I'd like to make a comment, if I may, on that. This is really, I mean, how many times have we said this is extraordinary times? And what I would like to do is to have a real meeting with, you know, where people can come in, because I think that during this emergency, during the pandemic, I would like to have a couple of meetings where we're all together and people can come in to make any public comment, because I think people they're under a lot of stress, you know, with jobs, things like that. So I would like to see a continuation until we can have a regular board meeting instead of a virtual meeting. And I would like comments from any board member on that.
I could probably short circuit that. This is going to stay open. It has to stay open due to the secret review that's ongoing.
Right. But I just,
As
Want it
will
to be
most
known
of the
that-
other public hearings, Rick.
yeah, it's just crazy times. So
Yeah.
I just
and
want to
we-
be
we
sure that
discussed
everybody
this-
knows that. So,
Yeah, we discussed it a little last meeting, so.
yeah. So,
All right, thanks, Rick.
All right, so Supervisor, do you
no,
want to go to the public or to see if there's
Yeah,
comments?
'cause I know Michelle has her hand up.
Yeah, I was going to say, so just for the people that are attending, there is a feature if you're online in chat or in the participants menu where you can raise your hand electronically. So we will go to the people that have their hand raised electronically first, but we will go to everybody else just to ask if they have any comments. For the one person that is dialed in by phone, besides Mr. Cologne, we'll call you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. So I'm going to start with Michelle Dixler, as she is electronically raised her hand, and I will bring her in. Me and Michelle did test her system today, so hopefully we'll be able to hear her today. So Michelle, I am trying to unmute your microphone right now. So if you have an option on your side
Yes.
to unmute. Oh, you're there. Okay.
I pressed on it and I hear you all, and thanks so much for your help. I just wanted to check that you knew I was here so that when I want to make a comment, I can, but I'm fine right now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle, and I'm glad that worked. All right.
Yes, it did. It was a
All
big
right.
help.
All right.
Nice
You
to
got
hear
it.
you.
Thanks. All right. So next up, we have phone number. The last last 3 digits are 031. So I'm going to bring that caller in. Last 3 digits 031. Do you have any comment on this public hearing?
Ward Brower, private citizen.
Okay. Hello,
The
Ward.
only comment I have, and it's a question on the impact statement. How do I find out that my question was recorded and answered? What's the protocol? I can't find an index. The document is voluminous. It's intimidating.
Okay.
That's my
So Ward, I can address that. In terms of the comments that are responded to, that's going to be in the final version that just closed today as far as comments. So now the town planner has to take all those comments and basically respond to all of them. And then that will be made available, but we're not at that point yet because the written comment period just ended today.
okay. Thank you.
And
All right.
we did get your comment, Ward, and Max, our planner, said it's going to be about 30 to 45 days before he gets everything answered.
Okay, then the format, we will have a way to review those, his comments?
Yes, you will.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to say, Ward?
Not in this regard, no. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Next up, I have Artur Baj, B-A-J. I'm going to bring Artur in case he would like to say anything. I can try to unmute you if you're online, but ultimately you have to allow that. So, I guess Artur, I cannot unmute. Oh, wait. Hold on. Artur, you there?
Yes, I am here. Yes.
Okay.
Hello,
Can you
everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I have a question. How many cases of coronavirus we have in the village of KJ?
Oh,
Wow.
Mr.
Part of it.
That's not That's not what we're on, but I will tell you that the best thing to do is to go onto the county website, click on the Department of Health's section, and then click on the coronavirus, and you could get all those numbers there.
At the beginning, somebody says it's over 7,000 cases in Orange County. Is it?
Yes, 7,029 that tested positive.
Okay. And where is the most? Like,
Yeah.
what's
Mr. Hey,
Arthur.
Mr. Podge?
Arthur,
Mr.
you
Podge.
have to, this is not the topic for discussion now.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
just go on the county website and you can gather all that information.
Okay, thank you. I will.
Yeah, if you want to comment later, you can do so, but right now we're doing a public hearing on a zoning amendment.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bosch. All right, next up, I think it might be George, our wonderful video man, but I'm just checking because I don't want to cut him off if he wants to say anything. All right, I cannot unmute George, so I guess that probably is our George. Libby Bickle, bringing you in if you would like to say anything on this public hearing on Chapter 57, and you're unmuted.
Thanks, no comment.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bickle. Mary Ellen's coming in, and I have Lorraine. I'm gonna unmute Lorraine if I can. Lorraine, can you hear me?
I can. I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lorraine. And last but not least, I have MEMARX 13. So bring them in case they want to say something. Mary Ellen Beams, if you can hear me, I just muted you because you have some background noise. MEMARX 13, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, did you have any comment on this public hearing?
No, I don't.
Okay, thank you very much.
You also have Tracy Shu on, I think.
Tracy, sorry, yes I do. Let me bring Tracy in. She raised her hand too, very proud of her.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Hello, Tracy.
How are you? I just,
Good, good.
I sent in my written comments today on behalf of a local nonprofit that advocates for the preservation of open space, which was one of the goals in your proposal. I just want to say I hope they come across as intended, which is to be helpful, not critical. I will apologize in advance for the length of the letter. I did rush to get it in today. So I just wanted to thank you all for the opportunity to participate.
Well, thank you for your
Thank you,
comments,
Tracy.
Tracy.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank
no
you,
problem,
Tracy.
Thanks.
Okay, so covered everybody on the attendees list. So back to you, Supervisor.
Okay. So we need a motion to keep open the continuation of the public hearing for proposed amendment of chapter 57 of the town code.
And do we
Come
have,
on to make that motion.
Yeah, we need a date and time, Supervisor.
Yep. Val,
Next meeting.
Help us
Val,
out, Val.
our next meeting is May 5th.
Hold on one second. I think it's is it May 4th?
May 4th, May 4th.
7th?
May 4th at
Let
7
me just
o'clock.
confirm that.
No, yeah,
May 4th.
it's May 4th at 7 o'clock.
All right, so we have a motion, May 4th, 7 o'clock, to continue the public hearing on Chapter 57.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Hingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Again,
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item, 4.3, the draft environmental impact statement, conservation, DGEIS, conservation cluster, residential floating zone text amendment. The only thing with regard to that is we're not opening up anything. It's just what Brian said about the comments. We did get Tracy Shu's comments today, Mr. Brower's. We got one from the Village of Monroe's planner, and there were a couple of others that came in. So
Supervisor Cardone, did we get anything from the county yet? Do you know?
did not get anything from the county.
yeah, it's my understanding, Mary, is that once we, this will go up for the GML review, and at that time, then they have that 30-day period to comment on it. And But I was talking to Max. We're not quite there yet for the GML review. I think that would come after when he finishes off the DGIS. That's my understanding.
Yes, but before the FEIS.
Yeah, before the FEIS, right?
Okay.
Right. Yes. Yep. Thank you. Yeah, that's again my understanding on it.
Okay.
All right, Supervisor, and 4.4 is the same topic,
Yes.
obviously. So
Yep.
the public hearing did close as a matter of the motion at the last meeting, and the written comment period closed today. So now the town planner will take all of those written comments and draft the responses in the final generic environmental impact statement.
Correct.
Yeah, and just for the record, I mean, we extended this twice and extended the written comment period for 14 days. So, you know, this isn't, you know, something that's been rushed or you know, that hasn't been thoroughly done.
Yeah, we should point out that the Chapter 57 portion remains open, which is the zoning amendment. It's just the environmental, the secret review portion that is closed. But this public hearing on the zoning amendments will continue until secret is complete at the very least.
Okay. All right, that said, item 4.5, a motion to open up the public hearing for the continuation of the public hearing for Old Country Road.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Scancarello. Motion was made by Councilwoman Bingham. Okay. Brian, you want to go to the attendees?
Call the question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Again,
Okay, so we are in the Old Country Road public hearing on the Old Country Road Water District. First up, I'm bringing back Ward Brower, private citizen.
No comment on that.
Okay, thank you, Ward. Next up, Arthur Baj. This is a public hearing on Old Country Road. If you want to say something about that.
No question, no comments on it.
Okay, thank you. George, just in case, bringing you in again. All right. Libby Bickle, would you like to say anything about the Old Country Road Water District public hearing?
Yes, you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I want to just say something about the status by me. I did not have water today in the morning. Having me, my wife, and the kids, and at time we gotta stay home. And this happening after 5 weeks, having a problem to get the deliveries. This starts 5 weeks ago when all of a sudden they stopped to deliver, and I tried to contact Tomm Enterprise, and I got transferred to too many people till they told me they have no drivers, till have different excuses. But and I got delivered very weekly. Like normally I'm getting every 2 weeks, two times a week. Now I'm getting once a week or twice a week. Sometimes they're coming, sometimes they're not coming. They stopped to change the filters till it was very clogged. Then they send me they do everything like very minimum, and they make me very, I don't know, they're not communicating with me normally. I try to contact them. And today, like what's happened, we have the kids at home, and I believe to buy water at bottle is also not easy today. And this is my story.
All right,
Mr.
maybe,
Bickle.
Brian, maybe you could reach out to Howard Potter and see if we can relay that message to him and have him relay it to KJ so that they can make sure he has water.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Bickle, what number are you?
2219.
Say it again.
Your street address.
Street number. What number on the street?
34.
34. Okay, got it. I'll send him a message on that.
Mr. Bickle, do you have water? Did they make a delivery? You have water today? I mean, like water now?
I have now, but I was today a long time without water. Again, having the kids at home, we gotta stay home. And it's not happening just today, just a mistake. I gotta call them up the last 5 weeks. try to push them and to make sure that's going to happen every delivery is like a big deal.
So when they change over from the delivery, it's when this occurs.
That's since then they're not in schedule. That's normal.
Oh, okay. All right.
Before you were getting it twice a week?
That's correct. Twice a week, and then I have the guy coming in to change the filters also once a week.
Okay. All right, we'll look into it.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for the help.
All right.
Thank
Thank you,
very
Mr.
much.
Bickle.
Thank you, Mr. Bickle.
Okay, have Denise Williamson, who has come on since we've been here. Denise, I'm going to try to unmute you if you would like to speak for this public hearing. If not, we can bring you back again a public comment. Right, so Denise trying to unmute you, it's not working. So if you are trying to say something, there is a chat feature for those of you that are online. Just send me a chat message. And lastly, but not least, Lorraine, if you would like to say anything on the Old Country Road.
No, thank you. I'm good.
Okay, thank you, Lorraine.
Mr. Nugent, is Michelle
Dixler.
Oh, wait. I don't see Michelle anymore. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. Let me make sure. Oh, there's Michelle. I did miss a few. Hold on. We also have me Marks 13, so I'll bring them in first, just going in order in case they want to say something on Old Country Road. Me Marks 13.
You can just call me Rosemary, but no.
Okay, thank you, Rosemary. I will rename you that so that we will call you Me Marks. All right.
Don't call it impersonal. Me Marks 13. Sounds like a computer system or
All
something.
right, I'm doing that right now. All right. All right, so now Michelle Dixler, bringing you in on Old Country Road public hearing. And Michelle,
Okay, can you hear me?
we can. We have success. Our training was so worth it today.
Thanks again. You did a great job.
Thank you, Michelle. It's good talking to you today.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, I'm still concerned, of course, about getting at least 2 of my neighbors' water. Any progress with Mr. Trotter? Is he okay? You know, you were last meeting. You were talking about that you're still working on the intermunicipal agreement with Mr. Trotter, and there was no new news on that. So I'm not sure what the protocol is between you and him, and you know, hopefully he's okay. But we haven't heard anything new on that. The equipment for the excavation for the connections to the homes is still sitting down at the end of our block in the cul-de-sac. So I was wondering, was a bid awarded, or what's going on with that? And this appears to be a priority to me, from my point of view, that why don't my neighbors have water yet? You know, I understand there are, you know, we have this, the virus going around, but if you have construction workers there, you know, digging a trench and whatever, they didn't seem to be in close contact with one another. So I'm not sure what the protocol is with that.
Okay.
That's basically what I want to know.
Well, the only thing I could say is, and I thought I answered your email to me with respect to the work to hook up each individual household, is that's something that you would have to speak to KJ Water Department about.
Well, my understanding is that KJ Water Department was called today. In fact, Mr. Bickle, I believe, tried to call them and got no answer. And, you know, I'm hoping that the town will continue to be as helpful as they have been. But are we supposed to push them as to getting this done?
Well, we've been pushing them, so I can only say that if you push them, it'll be helpful for both of us.
All right. Who in particular should I speak with?
You have to speak to the water department, I thought his first name was Joel. But I would go over to the water department. I would physically go
I,
over.
I am not going into Curious Joel at the present time. I'm not hardly going anywhere, certainly not there.
I totally
So
understand. I'm just,
perhaps I can write them a letter.
yeah, you can write them a letter. I believe there's an email that they have as well.
Uh-huh. If you have that, could you relay that to me, please?
I will see if I have that, and I will relay it to you.
Okay, I'll write them, I'm not afraid of writing a letter. I can do that.
Okay.
And Michelle, to
I
answer
just,
your question about the agreement, no, we have not heard back from Mr. Trotter. I can reach out to him. Our last communication, I believe, was March 18th with the current version of the agreement, and we did not receive a response back from him. But my understanding, Supervisor, correct me if I'm wrong, was the construction on the line was in progress, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So, no,
they
the
did.
construction on the line is essentially complete.
Okay.
Well,
So it's
the main line is complete, but
okay.
the hookups the pipes for the hookups to the houses, are not done. I see work for I think it's a gas line right down Spring Street from, in Monroe, in the village of Monroe. So obviously construction teams are working. I don't know why this one has stopped. It just seems that every opportunity they do not move with any speed whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. So if you give me the address of the water department and the name of the person, I'll write them a letter. That's fine with me.
Okay. I will get that.
And thank you.
I will get that.
Okay. Thank you,
All
Michelle.
right. Thanks very much.
You got it.
Michelle.
Oh, let me bring her
Michelle.
back. Hold on, I'm bringing her back.
Bring her back.
Michelle, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead, Supervisor.
Okay, just so you know, on 3/11, I did email you that information along with the Department of Health's representative, Steve Gagnon. I'm going to forward it to you again now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Supervisor, so we had Tracy Shu, but she already sent a chat message. Thank you, Tracy, that she had no comment on Old Country Road.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we need a motion to keep open the public hearing regarding the continuation of the Old Country Road Water District.
I'll make the motion to keep it open till 5/7 at 7 o'clock or as soon thereafter as possible.
5/4.
Well, on the
5/4,
second,
right?
5/4, excuse me. Yes,
yeah,
5,
5/4.
At 7 o'clock.
yes.
So immediately thereafter. All right. Who made the second?
Cologne, the second.
Malone, second. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
McGinn.
Again,
All right. Okay. Next up, public hearing notice.
It's busy in the White House, Supervisor, so yeah,
Listen,
Mr. McGinn.
I've got my finger on the pulse of the nation right now. No, I was actually just writing down the continuation date on my notes here.
Okay. You walk and chew gum at the same time? I'm just asking, Mike. Just asking.
I can, and we can have an offline chat about that if you'd like.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. All right, we need a motion to open up the continuation of the public hearing regarding the petition to amend the zoning ordinance from Monroe Nininger LLC. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Second,
Seconded by Councilman Scancarello. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone,
Cologne,
aye.
aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Begin I. Is that quick enough?
That was quick, Mike.
That was very quick.
That was quick.
Very impressed.
On point.
Okay. Brian, any additional comments on that?
Nothing from me. I don't know if the public wants to speak. I think that was one to continue at this point. I don't think we've had any movement on this, and probably one, as Mr. Cologne touched on, that should probably wait for normal meetings to continue.
And I think the issue with this again is it's under planning board review right now. The actual the actual the project that this came out of, which is basically raising the height limit in the HI district for commercial buildings from 40 feet to 50 feet to accommodate 4 floors. You know, because it was the plaintiffs. Not the plaintiffs, it was the applicant's feeling that he could not adequately do 4 stories at 10 feet of floor, which after review, we realized that was probably very true. You need at least 12 feet, if not more, with HVAC and all the infrastructure that goes into building a commercial structure, multi-story commercial structure.
Okay.
Just a little background on it. That's all.
So do you want to open up? We have a couple of people that have come on.
Yeah, you want to.
Yeah, I mean, it's the last public hearing. We can go. If you're listening and you can use the chat feature and you don't want to comment, just send me a message and then I will not bother trying to unmute you and call on you. But I will start with Ward Brower, private citizen. This is on the public hearing regarding the Nininger LLC application to amend the town zoning ordinance.
I'm just a little confused. I know it's the town board's duty to amend the law, but I also realize it's before the planning board, and it sounds like we have the dueling redundancy here. Just a little clarification on that, if possible. Mike sort of touched on it.
Yeah, so basically, Ward, it's referred to the planning board, and then we would get a recommendation from them. But since, you know, the town board is the authority that ultimately approves or denies a petition for a zoning amendment, it remains continued with the town board. So it's not that you have to comment now, but we don't want to cut anybody out if they do want to speak on it. And if you had comments, they would be basically referred to the planning board as far as their process as well. We just like to be as open as possible.
Only a comment on the, nothing to say, only on the process. That's what I was confused about.
Yeah, so I mean, if you do have comments, obviously you could submit them to either board, but we have to leave it open while that referral process occurs with the planning board, because they could come back to us and say, we think it's a good idea or a bad idea, but ultimately it's the town board that has the authority to say yes or no to that petition to amend the zoning ordinance.
Thank you.
And just Ward, just to kind of piggyback off of what Mr. Nugent said. So we're not only looking at for specifically this one project, we're looking at it for other areas in the town that are HI and maybe even LI, that this would be that this zoning change would be beneficial for bringing in economic development for non-ratables, basically is our thing. So that's what it's about, all right? But we didn't want to make that change while the planning board was reviewing this project. So we're trying not to usurp their authority. I think that's kind of what your concern is, and that's not, you know, what we're doing or where we're going with this.
Clarification understood.
All right. Thank you, Ward.
Thanks, Ward.
All right, we have Ashlyn Shaw, bringing Ashlyn in case she wants to say anything.
She still showed up muted on my screen here.
Well, yeah, I can only click on mute,
okay.
but then they have to ultimately
Right.
accept that. So, Ashlyn, if you do have something to say, please feel free to send me a chat message. I'm just looking at my messages. Lorraine is good, doesn't have a comment. Tracy doesn't have a comment. And Rosemary doesn't have a comment. I'm going to go to Denise Williamson in case Denise has a comment on Nininger. Okay. Nothing from Denise. So go to George.
Where's that barking coming from?
Yeah.
Is that George?
He's muted.
All right, James. James is a new addition, so James hasn't been in yet. We're on a public hearing on Integer Road. James, if you want to say anything, you have to unmute yourself if you do. Okay, and I think that is it because Lorraine, Rosemary, and Tracy have all indicated that they do not have comment on Integer Road public hearing or Integer LLC. So Supervisor, we can continue
Okay.
this one if somebody wants to make the motion.
I'll make a motion that we continue the public hearing on Ninninger LLC to amend the zoning ordinance to the second meeting in May, which will be May 18th at 7 PM or immediately thereafter.
I will second.
Call the question. Thank you, Mary.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Pardon, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Again, I.
Okay, so moved. All right. At the public hearing phase. Into the general abstract fund. So we have a general abstract number 20-14 for $357,191.72. That encompasses checks 25545 through 25581. So we need a motion and approval to pay that abstract.
I'll make that
Cologne to
motion.
make that.
All right, motion made by Councilman Scancarello, seconded by Councilman Cologne. Any
Right.
discussion?
We have 3 signatures after you have the few.
Yeah, once we do all that, we'll have 3 signatures.
Okay.
Call the question then?
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Pardon, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Again, I.
Okay, so moved. Next up is the abstract 20-04 from the escrow account totaling $9,164.20. And that represents 3 checks, 1902 through 1904. And those are, like I said, from our escrow account.
Cologne to make that motion.
I'll second.
For the escrow.
Seconded by Councilman Scancarello. Any other discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Pardon, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Again, I.
Okay, so moved. All right. We need a motion to accept the minutes of April 6th,
I'll make that motion.
Cologne, second.
seconded by Councilman Cologne. Motion was made by Councilwoman Bingham. Call, any changes, alterations, revisions? No? Okay. So we will call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Pardon, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Again, I.
Okay, so moved. All right, next item up is, sorry, hold on a second. Is 7.1, which is the 2021 CDBG governing body authorized resolution, which I believe you have before you. And it basically states the town of Monroe is hereby submitting its application for consideration under the FY 2021 Orange Urban County Consortium Community Development Program. And the chief elected official or executive officer is hereby authorized to submit this application for senior center ADA improvements as described in the proposal. Input from citizens and group has been received and considered, and an application has been prepared which addresses their community concerns. They further certify that they have read and understood the Orange Urban County Consortium Community Development Guidelines for the fiscal year 2021 program and have met all its applicable requirements, and that the information contained in the application is accurate and true to the best of their knowledge. If awarded CDBG funds, the municipality shall implement the activities in a manner to ensure compliance with all applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations. So we need a motion, we need a resolution for that that the governing body authorizes the submission of the fiscal year 2021 Community Development Block Grant application for senior center ADA improvements.
I'll make that
Mayor
motion.
Cologne to make the resolution. All right, go ahead, Mayor.
Motion was made
I'll
by
second.
Councilwoman Bingham, seconded by Councilman Cologne. Any other discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. All right.
I make a motion to authorize your signature.
Yep. Okay.
I'll second it.
Second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Big night.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, next up is the CDBG Fair Housing Resolution for 2021. So I'm just going to read the be it resolved that within available resources, the town of Monroe will assist all persons who feel they have been discriminated against under one of the aforementioned categories to seek equity under federal and state laws by filing a complaint with the New York State Human Rights Law and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development as appropriate. Be it further resolved that the town of Monroe shall publicize this resolution, and through this publicity shall cause owners of real estate, developers, and builders to become aware of their respective responsibilities and rights under the federal Fair Housing Law, the New York State Human Rights Law, and any other laws or ordinances. And be it further resolved that the municipality will at a minimum, but not be limited to, one, the printing and publicizing of this resolution, a fair housing public notice, and other applicable fair housing information through social media, community contacts, and placement on the municipal website and in other social media. Two, distribution of posters, flyers, and any other means which will bring to the attention of those affected the knowledge of their respective responsibilities and rights concerning equal opportunity in housing. So I will make that motion.
I'll
Cologne,
second.
a second.
Cologne, a second. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Big night.
Okay, then we need somebody to make a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign that.
Signature. I'll make that motion for the,
I'll
Aye.
second.
Councilman Cologne on the motion, Councilwoman Bingham on the second. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
Big night.
Okay, so moved. So just so everyone knows, we're going to be starting next week because of the need to make sure that our senior center is in line with all of the HVAC requirements. So the replacement of that's hopefully going to start next week. TM Brennan, we awarded the bid to some weeks ago. So that is in the process of commencing. We got the contracts, the finalization of all the contracts in today. They've been approved by council, our council, and I will be signing them tomorrow and getting them back to our engineers. So, okay. Next up is give me a second here. The
7-4.
Okay, the flex spending account
spending.
contribution and mid-year adjustments. So traditionally, this has been something that employees have done once a year. And we just want to reiterate the fact that changes can be made throughout the year and they're based on certain criteria. So we just want to make a motion that be it resolved that the town board of Town of Monroe discuss the adoption of the IRS approved qualifying events standard for mid-year changes to the town employee flex spending account plan Normally, the flexible spending account cannot be changed once selected to the start of the fiscal year. We need to discuss the employee request to change current FSA contribution amount due to qualifying event. And the reason for mid-year changes are change in marital status, divorce, annulment, death of a spouse, or legal separation, or the number of tax dependents, birth, adoption, placement for adoption, and death. Okay. So I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Seconded. Mary, were you seconding it too,
I
Mary?
was seconded too, yes.
All right, I'm going to give it to you, Mary. I don't like Mike's attitude lately.
Oval Office.
Well, he
I know.
has a nicer background than you do.
All right, thank you. Call a question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
McGinn, aye. Was that quick enough?
Yeah, that was very good.
On point,
Thank
Councilman.
God.
Good.
On point, Councilman.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
back in the good graces here.
Yeah. Well, believe me, it's keeping me up at night that I wouldn't be.
All right. So we had a little issue. Item 7.4 is the emergency roof repairs for New York State Trooper Barracks. So we had a little issue with the roof having some structural and some structural issues and some leaking. I think there were 4 locations where it was leaking and one was pretty bad. So I received estimates, and I apologize for not getting them to you, but one was over the phone from Precision Roofing, who actually came out and did the repairs or tightened it up a little bit. And that was for $49,000. And then we got another one, and this is all under prevailing wage. We got another one from Gagliardi Builders, and their price was $41,613.95.
Ooh.
So obviously, I think we have to go with where the benefit is to us. These are both very reputable companies. The Gagliardi was over there to actually take care of some mold remediation in between. So I think it would be prudent for us, not to go with the lower bid. Gagliardi also has an option on there for a dumpster, which I think we can provide ourselves. And that was for $1,286.40. So I'd like to make a motion that we move forward with this, since it is an emergency issue there, to approve Gagliardi Builders for the replacement of the roof over the Trooper Barracks on Ninja Road for $41,613.95.
I'd like to second for discussion.
Yes.
Sure.
All right. Just, Mary, you want to go first?
Is this a 50-year roof?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and are they a Master Elite roofer?
A Master Elite roofer.
Yes, simply because I'm having work done on my roof as well. It has to do with the amount of time the warranty is good for. So that was one thing I would like to know.
So what is the difference in the warranty?
Well, one is that GAF comes out and inspects it and says, yeah, the shingles are no good. We're just replacing the shingles. The other one is that, yes, the shingles or the workmanship are no good, or there was a problem, and they're going to cover the work and the shingles.
So I'm kind of losing you. Who's coming out to do that?
If they are GAF shingles, my understanding is a representative from GAF would come out and say, the shingles are defective. unless they're like a master elite builder, and then I think they can make that determination themselves.
Yeah, so Mary, let me just comment a little bit on it. So when we renegotiated the lease with New York
The
State
state?
Troopers,
Yes,
we knew that roof had to be done. It's on its
Okay.
second level, and it's on its second layer, I mean, of shingles going on. So we
right,
knew
so
it
they have
had
to
to be
take it
done,
down.
and it was just a matter of, not getting around to it with everything else that's going on with, other priorities that we have. And then they started having these leak issues, and then the mold, the subsequent mold problem that came from the leaks. And so that's why, so as far as the warranty goes, I mean, Tony.
These are 30-year shingles, right? You said 30, not 50,
He
right?
said 50. I've never heard of 50.
I've never heard of a 50.
Yep.
That's why.
30, yes.
Now listen, GAF is a brand.
Yes,
Yes.
So, I mean, I could find that out,
okay.
but I mean, this
The
is.
work has to get done, whether it's
The work, number one, the
AF or
work has
some
to
other
get done.
brand, yes.
And number two, I would have went with either one of these companies. Both of them are very reputable.
Okay,
And
Yeah,
do a lot of
Precision
work
did the,
around town. And
did the
the
senior.
issue also is that in 2012, Precision actually gave the town board a quote, and they were told they didn't have the money to replace it. I don't even want to tell you. I know what the quote was. I won't even tell you, how it should have been done then. So
Yeah.
there's 2 layers that have to be taken off.
right.
And then any of the plywood that has to be
Plywood,
replaced.
yeah,
The rotted plywood.
they estimated about 10 sheets of plywood. So,
And the flashing and all that stuff is
yeah,
included.
everything's included.
Yeah.
in it. So,
Okay,
all right. Any other comments or questions? All right, so we need to call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cologne, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Gancarello, aye.
Again,
Okay, so moved. Thank you. And Mike, thanks for that clarification on one of the, I had forgotten that. I knew it was, but I forgot that was one of the.
it's one of the
parameters in
points.
the lease. Yeah.
Add some fencing and
Yep.
The
break
stair.
room, the locker room, some of the other things that they required to be fixed. So.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I'm gonna mute myself because I'm gonna try to get you.
Thank God.
No, I'm gonna try to get you an answer now. With respect if there is a 50-year shingle.
Okay.
No, there's no 50 year. It's only 30.
It's a 50
And
year.
Precision did a lot of work on my house when I had a tree fall on it. They did an outstanding job. When you get, if you just keep adding the shingles on, what happens, it leaks through, and after a while, you do have to replace some plywood. So I don't think for a building that size, I don't think it's an extraordinary cost. Anybody there?
Yeah,
We hear you.
We're here, Rick.
All right.
Supervisor Cardone is researching 50-year shingles.
Yeah, so next item is charging stations.
Charging.
I'll turn it over to Rick and Mike.
Excuse me, Supervisor Cardone, you were going to ask Mr. Nugent about the McGooey Hauser Etzel contract for Water District 12, the contract, the 66 pages.
We talked about this. You were gonna ask him.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask him when I saw that email.
Yeah, we do have comments on it, so I'll save you, either one of you, from asking. Yeah, we do have comments, which we should have out tomorrow on that contract.
Okay, so then
some
we'll put it,
recommended changes. Yeah, I would put that off.
okay, just wanted to know what.
Yeah, well, there are certain things that we usually ask to be removed. There's a $2,000 expert witness fee, which we usually recommend against, and some other things that we do not think should be in the contract.
Okay, all right, thank you for that clarification.
You got it.
Okay, so Councilman Cologne.
Okay, charging stations. I've been in touch with Caleb Duncan, which is with Millennium, as well as ChargePoint. Now, there's a few other things that are going on here as it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Remember we were talking about the electrical work?
Yes.
I had called up our contractor with electrical, which is Defino. I spoke to him. He's going to give me an estimate on that. Now, what I got this afternoon from Millennium was different breakdowns. If we had plug-in do everything for the installation, that would bring the total cost of the contract of the project up to $39,281 with a 20% match of $78.56. In other words, our charge would be $78.56. If you minus the site work only, in other words, to get ready for the site work, it would come down to $5,816.20, approximately, give and take within a couple of dollars. If you minus only the electrical work, it will come out to $6,407, and minus site and electrical would come down to $43.67. That's $4,367. Now, there's another caveat to this. I would have to get back with, I would have to get an exact figure from Delfino on the electrical and a more precise figure from Highway. Because Highway did say they did over guesstimate to make sure they covered everything from soup to nuts. So Delfino's going to take a look at the electrical system and also give us a number back on that. So for me to give a hard number today on what it absolutely would cost complete, or as close to it as I can, that's depending on electrical and what Highway's going to do. Questions? Somebody say something.
Right, so go ahead, Mayor.
So the charging stations are going to be 2 stations with 4 ports altogether.
Correct.
Okay, so you're really waiting for a Highway to give you a much firmer number, because I thought there was some issue about the way the lines had to be routed before the paving of the parking lot. Is that possible?
Well, I mean, basically it's going through the parking lot, and he had in there like asphalt, and dirt, and this, that, and the other, plus whatever he may come across. Now, it's my understanding we are going to get the parking lot done, but I want to get everything in order before, you know, we get any paving done.
Yeah, that would make
so
sense.
Of course, it just eliminates that cost.
Right.
So
Okay.
at this point, what I really need is a hard number for the electrical, and also a more realistic figure from Highway. Now, I'm not saying his number was unrealistic. In other words, Highway gave me a higher number to cover any incidentals, and that included repaving the area.
What was that number, Rick?
Okay. And from Highway?
Yeah.
Highway said it was about $6,800 to $7,000.
Okay.
And he included 4 days of work. I don't see 4 days of work in there. And like I said, he doubled his number to make sure he had everything covered.
All right, so just Rick, just to kind of jump back. So we had that conference call with ChargePoint and Caleb and
right, with everybody involved in that, right?
So and I think what we need to see on this, because there was questions about how much with that maintenance contract for ChargePoint, how much of that was going to get covered by DEC.
That 5-year maintenance contract was
let me just finish. So, you know, when we wound up that call, I think the way we kind of left it was that we need to see everything on paper, all the numbers of exactly
Right.
what we're getting reimbursed for and exactly what everything's getting charged. And Caleb, I think you said to Caleb, hey, Caleb, can you do that? Get this all on one sheet so we can see it. So I think that's what we need, along with Delfino's quote. And I would definitely have John there for Delfino's quote, Delfino's inspection.
Right.
Because John had said to me when I spoke to him that he thought that he would need to have the electrician there on site while he was doing all the trenching. So, so whether that's 1, 2, 3, or 4 days, that's something that Delfino needs to know, going forward. So that
Oh, I don't.
he's
I
going to be in and out of there.
like I said, it's 4 days is, I think, extraordinary. But what I got today were just the figures I just read to you. I got them a few hours before from Duncan. But what I want to do is get with Delfino, have him look at the panel. You follow me?
Right,
And
yeah,
give
because
me
he's
a
got to look
number.
at the panel, and then he's got to see how far the run is from the panel to where the
Exactly.
proposed location is of the charging stations.
So, I mean, I spoke to him. He's going to get back to me. I spoke to him Thursday, and he's going to get back to me probably tomorrow, when we can come by, meet, and take a look-see at what's going on over there. And I'll have precise numbers for you. This is the breakdown I just gave you right now is without definitive numbers from Delfino, which is what I'm going to have.
Right.
The contract for the oversight on the units is like $200 for the year. That's really a minimal cost. What I want to see is absolute cost for the work, how long it's going to take. John and Delfino will hash that out and get me a realistic number to button this up and make it tight. And I can come to you with saying it's going to be X amount.
Yeah, I think we need to see all those numbers on paper. And
Yeah,
then
I'll get those
also
numbers for you.
exactly what the reimbursement is on the.
Right, it's a
on the
20% match, but yeah. But I'll have hopefully by the next meeting, I would like to say I would have those numbers definitive. Everything's moving a lot slower, of course, because of the current situation. So it's a little tougher to get people together and get out and stuff like that. So my feeling off the top of my head so far, to give you an idea, it's looking like around 7,000. But I don't want to commit to a particular number. But I'm saying more and more it's starting to look like that. I'll have an exact number so we can sit down and say it'll cost us X amount, give or take a couple $100 within that, with all the electrical work, everything done. Now, Caleb also said to me that if we pull out the 5-year oversight, you get 2 years from the feds. After the 2 years, you can sign up for the additional 5, which will be like $1,200 or whatever. So again, that's another thing. I'm going to have different alternatives for us.
Okay, yeah, we'll get those numbers and take it from there.
Yeah, it's just that you want to get more precise, especially with the electrician looking at the panel. That's going to be the big deal.
Right.
All right. Anybody have questions? All right.
Well, good. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. All right. Mr. Nugent,
Yes, sir.
any update on the peddling and solicitation law? We're gonna
Actually,
go ahead, Councilman McGinn.
yeah. So I know you had sent that that legal opinion that we read on that, Mr. Nugent, and
Yes.
I think I think we need to discuss some options, in light of some of those federal court decisions. And I mean, right now we have time, all this state of emergencies, and in effect because there shouldn't be any peddling going on or door-to-door solicitation. So maybe we can get on a conference call about that and have a little discussion.
Yeah, we can do an attorney-client privilege session to discuss what was in our correspondence.
Okay, great.
Are we going to be able to do that tonight with the breakout room, or is that
I can't,
option?
unfortunately, because the webinar feature, although it does minimize the examples of what the panelists might have seen in chat messages, but luckily the public didn't. The Zoom meetings do not, the Zoom webinars do not have a breakout. But we could do that if it's attorney-client. We don't need a noticed meeting. We could do that at any time for me to give you advice. We can just get on a Zoom call any day. That doesn't need to be noticed, so we can do that whenever you guys want to get together on it.
Okay. Yeah, well, we'll do that and send out an invite so we can all have a discussion about that.
Yeah, we can set it up whenever it works.
All right, great, thank you.
You got it.
Thanks. All right. Item number 9, public comment.
Okay, so we have about 6 people still in. So if you're ready, I will move on to the list. And for those listening, this is general public comment. If you would like to say anything, Ward Brower, bringing you in. This is Ward Brower, private citizen.
Ward Brower, private citizen. Just on the last case with the petition, the no-knock law, is that going to affect the standard caveat where politicians and religious people will still be able to go door to door? That's one question. And the other question happens to be, what's our status on the grandfather-in-law? I was a little confused last time we brought that up. Those are the 2 questions.
Okay. Brian, you want to opine on the first one?
Yeah, I can. Well, I think on the grandfather-in-law, right? I think we closed the public hearing last time on that.
No, I think what Max had stated that he's just looking to get through the DGIS process, and then he would have more to report on the non-conforming uses.
Okay, and then as far as the, I mean, no, there's no proposal to change anything with respect to, religious versus anybody else. I mean, in terms of the soliciting, we can't really select or make changes based on kind of the content of the message. So, the idea was, and the concept was to look at what hour and day restrictions could be put in on solicitation. And that obviously implicates constitutional issues. So that's something I have to discuss with the board.
Thank you.
Okay. Anne Marie, welcome. If you would like to say anything. Anne Marie's just observing. George Lithgow. George, if you would like to say anything, I can unmute you for public comment, but you'll have to unmute yourself. All right. Lorraine, bringing you in for public comment. Oh,
Good,
sorry.
thank you.
Go ahead,
Have a
Lorraine.
Good evening. I'm all set.
Okay, thank you, Lorraine. And Shannon is here just to say hi as my wonderful executive assistant.
Hello, Shannon.
Hello, board members.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Well,
Hey.
healthy.
I'd like you guys to know that Shannon has been working hard through the entire COVID thing, coming into the office every day for all our municipal clients.
Absolutely.
Thank heaven somebody is, Mr. Nugent.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing,
You're
Mike.
welcome. You're welcome all.
Thank you, Shannon. Appreciate it.
I've just been sitting at home in my
Yeah.
pajamas and my suit top while Shannon's been doing all the work. Thank you,
she-
Shannon.
She's been holding down the fort at the office.
That's it. And Tracy, bring in Tracy in if she would like to say anything for public comment.
No, thank you. Have a good night.
All right, thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy.
And I think we got everybody. I'm just going to go back to George just in case he had a technical issue, if he'd like to say anything. Okay. I think we covered everybody on the attendee list.
All right, great.
All right. That said, can't go into an executive session, but
Yeah, I mean, if there is anything, we could give you a conference number by email or something. But otherwise, like I say, as far as the attorney-client issue, that we can set up at any time. If you want to just do a regular Zoom meeting, I can provide the board to follow up with our advice in the letter concerning the solicitation law.
okay.
All right, I'd be available any evening this week. So that's fine if you want to set that up.
I think most of us pretty much have nothing to do, so.
No hot days.
Bingo.
Oh, yes.
Except Val. Val is
I-
busy doing marriage licenses and things like that online
Yeah.
now, but
So you want to, and so Mike and Mary, you want to just set something up with Brian?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
listen,
Sal,
I mean,
Sal is out
I
all
think,
the time.
yeah, I mean, I'm not available, I think, Wednesday evening. I just gotta check, but other than that,
yeah, I mean, I'm good during the day. Most of the days this week, I have a meeting tomorrow night, but other than that, during the day, I should be able to set something up if you guys are around.
Not
Okay.
during the day. Only Friday during the day.
Okay, so you want to do evening, then I would probably have to do Wednesday.
That's
Right.
nothing for Mike.
Brian, it's Mary. 11
Yes.
o'clock, 12 o'clock at night work.
That's right, it does.
How about Thursday evening?
how about Saturday at around midnight? I should be in great
Oh,
shape
God.
by then.
Are most of you guys good Thursday night? Like Thursday at 6:30, 7?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
good.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll do
So I'll send out an
6:30,
email
7.
and I'll give you a link and, see if we could do like 6:30, 7 p.m. on Thursday.
That'd be great.
All right, and for the public listening, so that's an attorney-client privilege session where I would be giving advice to the board, so it doesn't require notice. It's not a normal meeting. There'll be no town board business discussed, no action. It'll just be me advising the board on some legal issues concerning solicitation and what powers the board has and doesn't have with regard to those laws. So we're not going to have a secret meeting. We're telling you attorney-client privilege session.
Hey, one final announcement. So on Wednesday, the county, along with the town of Monroe, the village of Harriman, and the village of Monroe, will be acknowledging the local medical staffs with a somewhat parade of vehicles going to the different locations. So if you're around, it's going to commence at about 11 o'clock. And they don't want any additional cars involved because they said it could get out of hand. So if anyone wanted to participate, best bet would be to go to Crystal Run in the parking lot, honk your horn. We're going down to Horizon Medical over by McDonald's. We're going to the medical group that's in Monroe Pediatrics in that building on Gilbert Street. They're also going to the medical group next to M&T and possibly one or two other locations. And they're not dismissing any of the pharmacies. They know that those people are working 12, 14-hour days to get the medicine out to those that have been affected. But it's a good thing, and we're glad we could do it. And just so everyone knows, this was the brainchild of County Executive Steve Newhouse. So,
All right, great.
That's a great
all
job.
good. Yeah, all good.
All right, and Supervisor, I'll just say that this webinar is obviously recording, so there'll be a copy made available for anybody that couldn't attend to be posted by the town. And I should comment that the town of Monroe, as far as my Zoom webinars, is the most well-dressed town board.
Right.
Without
And great
without a
background.
doubt. Without a doubt.
You're all welcome to my office here.
I know you're all wearing PJs, but it looks good up here.
Yeah. You know what? I really think we should all maybe chip in and buy some clothes for that supervisor over in Blooming Grove so he can look more dapper at night.
Yeah.
You can join his webinar tomorrow night. We'll see how they're doing.
I don't know if he's
We
going to
love
Woodstock or he's going to a town board meeting. But hey, listen, on another note, I was by town hall earlier today, and boy, everything it looks tremendous. I mean, what has been done so far, it looks great, and so kudos to you, Tony, and just the team that's working there. The courtroom looks great. The meeting room looks good. It's just amazing. So
Yeah.
soon enough we'll be in there, and it'll be great.
Back to normal.
Yeah, just what a great looking.
As you can see, the sun never sets here at Town Hall.
It's
still
always
very
sunny.
nice out.
It's always
The
sunny.
supervisor is right there in his office. The lights are still on. You know, he's working hard.
That'd be a refreshing change.
Just so everyone knows, because I was discussing this with Councilman McGinn today, and thank you for the kudos, but I had a little, consultation with some of the people at Town Hall, picking colors and choosing carpets and this and that. So it was a consortium of everybody that did a great job with this. We had our microphone systems and our cameras installed yesterday, so that was finalized.
Nice.
So George will be able to remotely from his office downstairs, there's 3 cameras in the meeting room. So he'll be able to remotely do that.
You mean he's not going to bark at me speaking to the mic and stop chewing gum?
Oh, let me tell you something. We have control of that system. The controls are right behind the dais.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wow. It's all been set up, and they basically turn on when you speak. So there's a little red light on the microphone, so you'll know it's activated. But and then we have a wireless mic. We're waiting for a podium to come in, so everything's moving along great there.
Does that mean my career as a Zoom host is over then?
No.
The governor says so.
We still might need you for certain meetings, Council. Like when it's flurrying out and nobody wants to drive.
We can do this.
Yeah, we can do this. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Well, thank you all. You guys good to adjourn then?
Yeah, we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Go on a second. All right, Sal.
Sal second. Any other discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Malone, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Scancarello, aye.
McGinn, aye.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mr. President.
everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you soon.
Good night, all. Be
All
safe
right.
and
I'll see you in
healthy.
my office after this, all right? Right there.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Good night.